So, hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a preseason 8 support commentary with Ezreal. Now, those are some words I never thought I would say in my entire life, because I never would have imagined Ezreal support would be a thing, but after playing a couple games today, I'm actually quite adamant that I think Ezreal support might be possibly one of the most broken things I've ever seen in the support role. Um, the idea with Ezreal in this preseason patch is that you get the Keystone Kleptomancy, and what Kleptomancy does is that when you auto a champion, you have a chance of getting a random item like a pot, a ward, a potion, an elixir, etc. And what makes Ezreal really good at doing that is that his Q procs Kleptomancy. And so if you put him in a support position where all you do is focus your attention on poking with Q, you can actually rack up a lot of free gold and stats and everything, which is crazy. And coupled with Spell Thief and getting a couple other offensive keystones, you actually have really significant poke level 1. Like you saw in this, even this small exchange down here, my Qs were chunking Ashe and Talon for more than 100 health easily, which is absolutely insane for a support at level 1. So I really do think Ezreal support has a lot of potential, and I think this will be a really good game to demonstrate how strong it is. And even Sneaky himself was very confused when he saw this, but I actually played a couple of games before I got into this game, so I was already kind of warmed up and I knew what to do. So in this lane in particular, it's going to be against a Ashe Soraka. Now, Soraka, you might think, is really good against me, because if I'm a very poke-focused champion, like, Soraka's poke will be very strong. Soraka's also very good, by the way. Her, like, with the airy keystone, with the little wisp that flies, like, to attack a guy, or when she heals shields, that's a very strong keystone, by the way. Anyways, but, like, if I focus a lot of my poke on Soraka, then she can't really do much. So as soon as we hit level 2, get a level 2 power spike, Ezreal is so strong at level 2. Like, if you've ever seen Ezreal in jungle, you know he's just gonna cheese you all in, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do right here. I'm just gonna level 2 all into Soraka right now. Go EQ, auto, ignite, try to win as many autos as I can. Don't want to go too close into tower range. I could have maybe gone for a flash auto Q, but I don't want to risk that, because if I miss my Q, that would not have been worth. So, decided not to throw the lane. I'd rather just play it safe, get a really, really nice chunk on Soraka, so now she's forced to use all her refillable potions and play really defensive, which is really good for us. Now that we've established lane pressure so early on, I can just push this lane with the Jinx. Once again, I'm going to try my best to get as many Qs off as I can, because you can see, like, for example, I already have a stealth ward, which is, they're very, very old school wards that you used to be able to purchase in the shop. You can get as a Kleptomancy gift, so that's really cool. I also got the other Rune Mastery Keystone that gives you a free biscuit every 3 minutes, and this is okay. What's interesting about this biscuit is that you could actually save the biscuit up until mid to late game, because it restores 15% of missing health and mana. So it's not actually going to be restoring a flat amount of health, so if you save it for later on in the game, it could be a pretty big deal, because like maybe 10-12 minutes in, that 15% health and mana is going to be a lot. But if you need to use it early, you can use it early, but you can also save it too. That's just something really interesting to know. What's also really interesting to note is that, I believe I've confirmed this, but I could be wrong, but if you buy Dark Seal and you consume some of these potions, you do get the additional effect. So even with like that weird kind of biscuit, I'm almost certain Dark Seal will actually give you the extra boost that Dark Seal normally does give on potions, which is why I'm actually going to build it later this game, spoiler alert. But yeah, this is just a very strange Ezreal build. You go very greedy, very poke heavy, you play very selfishly, you're not really a team player. So Jarvan's going to come down for a gank right now. I unfortunately wasn't able to E in front of that minion right there, so I like wasted all my entire combo on this Soraka, which kind of sucks. So I should have killed her way earlier. Made Jarvan take 2 tower shots for no reason, which is a little unfortunate. We're trying to kill the Ashe right now. I go in for a flash, but unfortunately Ashe has a really nice barrier flash to get out, so that kind of sucks. Luckily, Sneaky's able to get in the last kill on Talon. We all just barely live. I think I very heavily misplayed that, because if I had at least eat over the minion to get the Q on the Soraka, Jarvan would not be at this low health, and this probably would have been a much closer fight. So definitely misplayed that, a little goofed a little bit, but you can see, even at the end of that fight, look how many random stuff I have. I have another control ward, a normal health potion, a normal mana potion. Like, that's actually ridiculous. And what's also really funny is that you can actually sell these in the shop if you want. They're worth gold. So if you really want, you could sell them. You don't even have to use them in lane if you don't want to. But right now, I upgraded to Frostfang, got a Dark Seal. Now I'm going to start walking towards mid because I see LeBlanc is clearing this pink ward. Want to also is try to establish some vision for my team before I go back bot. So I decided to get a really nice chunk off. I'm not really scared of this LeBlanc just because LeBlanc is only level 5. She has TP, so I know I'm not going to die if LeBlanc jumps on me. Like, I'm going to take a lot of damage for sure, but we're not dead. And by going in and chunking her, I put her in a really awkward spot because now she's kind of at half-ish health, and she has to lane against the TF now, and she also blew Flash, so this TF is... I basically relieved a lot of pressure for TF. The only bad thing is that I have to go back and recall right now because I can't really go bot lane and function, but Jarvan's actually going to get a really nice surprise gank off because I recalled, and the bot lane knew I recalled, so they tried to go on Jinx, but the Jarvan did a really nice counter gank. So that actually ended up working out really well for us. I'm kind of surprised we were able to coordinate that. But anyways, my main reason for going mid is I wanted to drop this pink ward off, and then go back bot lane to at least help Sneaky out a little, so that way he doesn't have to solo this lane. So I'm walking down. Soraka's still staying here. I don't know why. So I'm just going to start running down immediately. I go for a W here just to give Sneaky this attack speed boost, and now I'm going to go in, get the Ignite off, just throwing in autos and auto attack moving. Until I know I have a secure Q, I go for it. That's going to land me the kill. So yeah, you got to be really skill shot accurate with Ezreal. Now, I'm going to stay in lane right now just because there isn't really a point in me recalling. My next item that I'm going to purchase is a Sheen. I think Sheen is super important in Ezreal just because it literally doubles your damage on your Q. And since my Q is already doing so much with Frostfang, like, Sheen is fantastic. So I'm totally down to get that next. I just don't have enough money for it because just buying the Sapphire Crystal is not really good. Ezreal doesn't really have mana issues, especially not support Ezreal with Frostfang. So I'm just going to wait until I have the money to completely buy out the Sheen. And otherwise, I'm just going to stay in lane, try to stick up some experience for us, get a little bit of poking. You see, that was 2 Qs right there. Soraka's already at almost half health from that, which is just ridiculous. That really shouldn't happen in a lane. Like, most supports in the past have never been able to chunk that hard with just a Q. Like, even Karma can't do that. You can see how much pressure I'm already putting. Like, I'm going in for really aggressive EQs like that, and look, I even got this really cool Elixir, which gives you ability power, so you can just pop them whenever you want and poke them even harder. You can see how low they are now, and we even forced the Ashe barrier because she was so scared of the Jinx ult that might have hit her. And I see Ashe is really low here. I missed my Q, which really sucks. If I land on my Q right there, I would have killed Ashe 100%, and I didn't need to E in. But because I had to E in, I unfortunately took 2 tower shots and I died, and I made Sneaky waste heal. So that was kind of my bad for missing that Q. Really bad I missed that, but ultimately trading 1-for-1 is definitely fine, especially since I killed the 80 carry, and now Jinx has a completely free lane to get pressure. Trying to get some tower damage, but unfortunately she kind of just dies here, which is okay. I also took the mastery that gives me boots, so I didn't buy boots at all, I just got the boots automatically. I'm really starting to like this mastery just because as a support you're already so gold limited that getting a free like 300 gold from the boots and a 50 boot gold discount on boots later is really good. But anyways, let me hold on to that thought for a second. So I'm fighting this Ashe right now. I completed Frost Queens. I just completely rushed it just because I wanted the ghost. And now I'm just trading with the Ashe, and I'm trading reasonably well. As soon as I see ult, I'm just going to E back under tower. And I see Ashe is diving, so I have to flash that. And then I see she takes 1 tower shot. I'm just going to ult. Perfect. Land it. Easy kill. If I didn't build Frost Queens, I definitely wouldn't have gotten the kill, because that extra ability power really does make a difference on your ult. I know I said before that Sheen is definitely the more optimal buy, and I was going to get that, but I think I had enough money for the Frost Queens, which is why I decided to get the Frost Queens first. And just that purchase alone like makes your ult do so much more damage, because your ult scales immensely well in AP. So I missed like all my spells right there, and the only ones that really mattered was like 1 ult, 1 Q, and yeah, that just completely destroyed Ashe. Still don't have enough money for a Sheen, so unfortunately just get a Sapphire Crystal. Just gonna start heading down mid right now. I'm not going bot just because I want to try to get 1 gank mid since I see that TF was really low, and LeBlanc is also really low. Now I'm gonna run mid right now just because I saw a Jinx ult coming and I don't exactly know where the Jinx ult is, but I'm just gonna assume that the Jinx ult's coming in, assuming that Blanc is just gonna keep running down. So I'm just gonna keep on chasing to make sure that Blanc keeps retreating, and it actually ends up working out perfectly because the LeBlanc ends up running into it. So I was correct in assuming that Sneaky would try to predict the LeBlanc running away. So now I see them jumping on Jinx, so I do have to go back. It really is not good that I've been leaving lane. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made this game. I really should stay in lane more often just because Sneaky definitely had to fight this lane 1v2, and if he wasn't Sneaky, I think most AD carries would crumble under the pressure. But now we see Jarvan is here. He's going to use that like really weird keystone flash to get in, but I don't think that's actually good. Because he kind of took too long to get in after I activated Ghost. Missed everything. And now we're going to get counter ganked, which is a little spooky. I'm just going to stay inside the bush right here. Burst Talon with everything I got, because I know I'm going to die. That's okay. This ends up being another clown fiesta where everyone just TPs, which is kind of amusing. But I'm also just watching this bot lane fight right now because my ult is up. So as soon as I get out of, as soon as I respawn, I know I can ult bot. And if they keep him down here, I can at least try to get one kill. So when you're ulting as Ezreal from like literally cross map, it really is hard to predict where the fight's going to be because it takes about 15-20 seconds for the ult to get to the destination if you're doing it like from the fountain to down here. So I'm guessing that since TF is kind of low, like the fight's probably going to conclude around this area. I'm going to assume that we trade 1-for-1 because I'm going to assume TF is going to die, like maybe Soraka or Ashe or LeBlanc dies, and then they're probably going to retreat a little bit. So I'm going to fire my ult right around this area. TF does end up dying. Nautilus ends up trading for the Ashe, and luckily enough, since the LeBlanc greets for this kill right here, she's going to line up perfectly for the Ezreal ult. Unfortunately, Soraka doesn't get into it. I think if I aimed a little more to the left, I would have nabbed both of them, which would have been sick. But one kill is good enough for me. So it's always good to just keep an eye out for when skirmishes are coming up. But I'm running mid right now just because I want to get some vision here. I want to just pop this bush, see if there's Talon here, just because if Talon was waiting here to jump over the wall, at least it would be a nice alert for the Jinx that's taking the tower right now. But since we see Talon's bot now, I'm just going to run mid, start hitting the tower, apply W onto the Jinx. I could have E'd as I W to get the W self-proc on myself, but didn't really want to waste too much mana. It's not that big of a deal. Now, I popped some Ghosts and I know since they're slowed, I'm just going to chunk them. You can see just how much 1Q did. 1Q did a third of Ashe's health. Like, that's insane. Like, with just Frost Queens and a Sheen. Like, that's not acceptable. That is way too strong. Like, that should not exist in this game. There's no way a support Ezreal at level 7 should be able to do that. But, anyways, just going to drop off some wards. I took a couple of Raptors while I can because I do have the damage to take it, so I might as well get like 30 free gold just from and denying a little bit of CS to the jungler. Now, I'm walking behind my team. I see them go for LeBlanc, and I could have ulted here, but I'm very confident they had the damage to kill LeBlanc without my ult, so I chose not to ult here. So we get the free LeBlanc pick, which is nice. And now I'm just kind of following my team around, and this Season 8 preseason is so snowbally. Like, once you have a lead, you play aggressive. Like, you keep running around taking towers. Like, games are ending really fast. So as soon as we take mid, we're just going to run top. How about the Yasuo? I could also ult here once again, but I'm choosing not to ult just because it's just going to be overkill. Like, I don't really want to kill steal everything. Share some of the gold to my team. I already do a pretty reasonable amount of damage. Now we're just going to go ahead and push and take this tower. Now you see Talon is here clearing the ward. What's also really nice about Ezreal compared to other poke supports like Vel'Koz is that I have my E, so I can get out if I ever need to get out of a bad situation. So I was scared Ashe was going to ult me, so I just E'd over the wall. And I get a little bit of free poke, which is nice. Now, I'm circling back here because I'm really scared for TF. I saw Talon was jumping, so I'm just waiting here just in case. And I see Talon is committing, so I'm going to try to poke him as much as possible. Throw out some Qs on LeBlanc, like in Talon. Get some pretty nice damage. I tried to go for the kill there, but I was just fairly short. And now I kind of have to make a split decision here, because Yasuo is fighting the Jinx, and I'm also standing right here. I also see the LeBlanc is really low at health, and I see that there are two people that are about to just turn on Jarvan. So This is a really hard call because it's 3v5 and the Nautilus does not have TP. So I have to make a really quick decision on how I want to play this Vi. Do I want to save Jinx or do I just run? Yeah, are basically my two options because Jarvan is definitely going to die for sure here. So I actually decided to run just because I don't think we can actually fight Yasuo with the wind wall up right now. Because of this really good wind wall, the Jinx is not going to get any damage off. And I decided that it's also better for me not to run in this right direction because if Jinx and I both run in the same direction, we're both going to die. So I decided to abandon ship, get a little bit of poke, but I decided to run upwards. And by running upwards, both of us are not going to die now. They focus all their attention on Jinx, so I get to run away. And luckily, since I got a Q off on the Talon, I got my quest Frost Queens pop off, and I got the extra movement speed to get out, which is quite nice. So I'm going to stay here just in case. I'm just going to keep on poking them out. I do have ult, so in case they decide to 4-man and push out this wave, I can ult the wave. It might be a little sketchy because of Yasuo, so I'm not committing too hard. And once again, just having Ezreal E is so nice. Just get out of that situation. If I was any other support, I would have died there. I know I see TF is ulting it, so now I'm going to pop my Ghost, get the free slow on the Yasuo Soraka, E over the wall here just to get out of the wall, wind wall, and get some extra poke. But see Talon, I respect it. Gonna back off a little. And now I'm just waiting for the TF gold card to come up. So as soon as the gold card comes up, I'm just gonna start channeling my ult. So as soon as he throws it, start my ult up. Bam. Chunk the Talon for like 40% of his health with my ult. Now I'm gonna go back. So go ahead, and I believe I have like a ton of money here. Like I think I have 2,500 gold, which is a lot. So I choose to buy Lich Bane here. Now, I'll admit, this is my first game buying the Lich Bane on Ezreal. In the past games before this, I was building Iceborne Gauntlet. But I wasn't a huge fan of it, surprisingly. I felt like Ezreal has such good poke damage. The Iceborne Gauntlet kind of limits your damage a bit and only really provides utility, which I don't really feel is that necessary. Especially in this meta when snowballing is so important. I wanted to see how much damage I could do. You can see just from that EQ, I chunked Soraka for like 30% of her health. That's crazy good. And now I'm just going to keep on staying pretty far back. Like, I don't want to go too far in. Pop some ghosts. I see Yasuo CC'd, so I'm just going to get a 1 WQ snipe. Killed the Yasuo through his shield. Like, that's so dumb. LeBlanc kills me off, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. At least she used her burst on me and not someone else on my team. But yeah, the Lich Bane damage is actually crazy. Now, I'm not sure if Lich Bane is the best item to rush immediately, because I'm still experimenting with this build, but I definitely think that Frost Queens and Sheen is core. And if didn't get Lich Bane, I definitely would have bought Iceborne Gauntlet. Now I'm just going to buy a Blasting Wand, start and a Pink Ward. Just going to keep on going with the AP route. I'm planning to build Death Cap right now, and once again, I'm just really stacking the AP and just playing greedy. I honestly just don't really care for a Sightstone right now. And I know that's a very selfish build, but I think my argument for not building Sightstone is that, once again, this meta is so focused around just skirmishing and fighting. Like, you can see it's 18 minutes, and this game is a bloodbath. Like, we're fighting so much, and the thing is, all these fights are never around objectives. All our fights are just in lane. Like, we're just pushing a tower, and then we're just 5-man fighting. And in those kinds of scenarios, having Sightstone is not as useful. And if we're looking for picks, like in the river, then yeah, like Sightstone is for sure better. But the game has panned out so much that we're just, like, fighting, like, we're just constantly fighting. And I don't think a Sightstone would have really helped us look for picks in any way. And having more damage, like, is actually like a really big deal on someone like Ezreal, who snowballs so well off getting more and more damage. Like, if I spend 800 gold on getting not combat stats, like, I would be doing like 300 less damage with like a combo, which is a lot. And here I see Yasuo doesn't have wind wall, so I throw an ult, Sneaky throws an ult. That's pretty funny. We both end up sniping him down, which is good awareness on both of our parts. You can see I just get another free chunk on Talon. That EQW on Talon did 50% of his health. That's so dumb for a support. Like, any support should not be able to do that. And also, I can only do that with Lich Bane. If I had Iceborne Gauntlet instead of Lich Bane here, that would have done like 25% of his health. That would have been nothing. So it is a very big difference to get all damage and not get vision for your team. But it's a really calculated risk you have to make. Because if you're gonna go all damage, you have to make sure you make the most of it. What's also really funny is that you can also get this elixir, this magical site elixir, as one of your kleptomancy gifts, and it gives you free oracles, which I find very amusing. But I'm just staying with the Jarvan just in case. But I'll just go ahead and recall. Drop some wards. Just gonna keep on queuing Raptors and queuing everything as much as possible just to get my ult cooldown a little bit faster. I also think I took the mastery that every time you use your ult cooldown just gets reduced, which I think is quite fun for an Ezreal support. I don't think it's the best one to take. I was just trying to get out, but it seemed okay this game. Like, my ult cooldown's only 78.3 second cooldown, and I don't have much CDR. I think I only have 25%, so that's actually quite good for being almost 1 minute with only 25% CDR. Now, once again, I'm just gonna pop some Ghosts out. So, in a lot of situations where I use the Ghosts, I actually, if I see the support gets ticked with the Ghost, I actually just like to ult the support naked, like, without any creep wave or anything, but I honestly should have aimed my ult a little bit to the right, because it's obvious Soraka's gonna run downward, because there's this, like, stupid cliff right here. So, I probably would have chunked Soraka for about half her health, which would have been really nice, but that's okay. That's kind of a waste of an ult. Now, we do get the pick on bot, so instead of going for the Baron call, where we don't have vision, once again, we're playing around the fact that we don't have a Sightstone, we decided to just push bot, which is the much safer call, because this way, we're just fighting in an open area. And you can see right now, I'm just trying to look for a poke. I get 1 Q on Ashe. That did 1/4 of health with 1 Q, and now Jarvan initiates, once again, standing really far back in the fight. Gonna get another Q off, kill her again. Like, I legitimately did 50% of Ashe's health that fight. That's absurd. Like, really, really absurd. Now, my team's taking a hit. I'm just gonna do my best to distract the Talon with TF. I actually misclicked right here and walked a little bit too far forward, which is definitely my B, because there was no way I should be walking up that far and not use E, you know? But I think I just misclicked and I just ended up dying, not even using E, so that kind of sucks. Definitely threw this fight for my team, because now everyone's really scattered. We just have to bolt. I guess we get a couple trade kills, but definitely not optimal for sure. Once again, I'm just watching mid. I see that they're fighting mid. I'm hoping the Blanc is going to stay around here, and I thought the TF was actually going to retreat this way. So it's a little bit unfortunate that they got kind of split off, because, wow, the LeBlanc got so close to dying right there. I think that would have actually killed her with my ult. I'm actually almost positive it would have. So that was very unfortunate that I missed, because that would be a double Blanc right now. It's okay. But you see the Talons right here? I'm going to try to chunk him for a little bit. I missed a Q, but I'm not going to commit right now, even though I see him, just because Talon can one-shot me, so I'll just keep my distance. Drop a Trinket Ward, just play safe. No reason to face check anything. And honestly, after using Frost Queen's Claim so much, I'm really liking the item a lot more. Especially for a support like Ezreal, who doesn't actually have a lot of CC and catch potential. Just throwing out Ghost is so useful for just never getting caught. And if I do tag someone with the Ghost, I can just ult them and do a lot of damage, which is pretty good. So now we make the call to go Baron. We do this even without vision, just because we see Yasuo's bot. We saw them back off after we took this blue, or as we were approaching this blue. So we know they're not in the area, and that's really good that we got a free Baron. And now we just decide to engage. Yasuo is just caught by himself. And here, once again, I have to make a split-second decision. I can either E over, get a bunch of burst on the Yasuo, but kind of leave Jinx, or I can just try to chunk the Talon. So I decided to chunk the Talon. I missed my Q, which is huge. If I Q'd, I would have done a third of his health, because you can see just for my W I did this much damage, so yikes. That's kind of bad on my part. But that's okay. We end up killing 3 of them, now we're just going to push mid. And it's pretty much game, since we have Baron. We already took the bot wave, or the bot lane. Now we can just push forward. So yeah, that was pretty much game. And I think, once again, I really wanted to... I wish I had a better game to show you because I played a couple Ezreal games, but I just really wanted to at least just do a quick commentary just to talk about just, I guess, my thoughts on Season 8 overall so far. And my thoughts right now is that games are so fast. Like, everyone is so aggressive. Games are, last 25 minutes, like, pretty much after the first Baron. And I think that's why it's so important that you should pick supports that are very, very aggressive. Like, I don't think it's actually wise to pick supports like Soraka, Sona, Enchanters. Like, that kind of playstyle is way too slow right now. And I think if you go very aggro, like, you pick something like Ezreal and Zyra with really strong poke, or if you pick someone like Leona with really hard engage, I think that's the best way to play bot lane right now. And so many of the keystones are so much better for aggression rather than defensive playstyles right now. So that's kind of my first impressions right now, and I'll definitely try to get as many commentaries as I can right now, but I just had to do one on Ezreal just because Ezreal is just so ridiculous. Like, I, once again, think there is no reason a support should be able to just utterly destroy an enemy team and just do so much damage with really minimal gold. Like, I'm just baffled, really. Like, actually baffled. And yeah, it's a lot of fun too. Like, playing Ezreal is great. Like, I really miss it a lot. And like, once again, like, this whole, like, I just also want to highlight this again. I literally miss everything. And I'm just slowly autoing the Ashe, get off 1Q, 3 autos. She tanks 1 tower shot, and then I ult and kill her. There's no way any support should be able to do that. I think there is absolutely no support that would have survived that situation. But yeah, Ezreal can. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. And yeah, let me know your thoughts about Season 8. I definitely want to try to start some discussions on that. So yeah, see you guys later.